October 26th, 9:45 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
Were you able to sleep last night? Huh? Oh, sleep. Sure, I slept. For a grand total of 0 hours.
Hey! Good morning, you two. Looks like you're ready to put on a real show. But before you do, I have a good lucky gift for you. The voice print analysis came back and the results couldn't be more clear. The voice in the mock trial and the tape recorder are one and the same. They're exactly the same. So that doesn't prove anything about the tape. The tape is completely bullcrap.
In other words, the recording's a fabrication.
The lab is continuing their study of the tape. So far, they've found signs of overdubbing. But it's going to take a bit longer to recover the audio that was erased.
Who's there? Wait.
Is it Scuttlebutt?
Did you see who it was? No, I got a quick look, but they got away. I think it might have been Hugh. I bet he was eavesdropping.
Ooh.
I wonder if he saw our hand.
Oh, I'm sure he wasn't the only one just now. I bet Robin and Boxgirl were listening in too. I'll be sure they don't make a run for it. That's my final gift to you.
Okay, all that's left now is to reach out to the truth. Time for a mini Chords of Steel workout. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Your turn. I'm Athena Sykes, and I'm fine. All right, how soon until the Mood Matrix? Why I'm here.
I don't know, really. It could come up at any time. Here we go.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods. The Sykes Brigade is totally psyched. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready as well. Isn't that right, Prosecutor Blackwell?
What do you think, Your Honor?
Yes, well, moving right along. Yesterday's adjournment was unexpected, yet necessary. But I'll be running a tight ship here today, so no funny business from anybody, understood?
Okay, so we just gotta immediately kick out everyone in the courtroom because everyone is always up to funny business in this game. Your boldness. Robin Newman and Hugh O'Connor have recanted their confessions. But later, I shall grill them at leisure to find whether I can charge them with perjury.
Well, this sure complicates matters. Still, one must not overlook the facts. Now, about the school camera photo that was submitted yesterday.
A pity, but that evidence is no longer relevant to this case. But the art room clock runs fast. It cannot function as an accurate measure of time. As for the blunt, bungling detective who overlooked that, he is paying for his failure as we speak.
Or Detective Fulbright. I hope he returns to work with all his body parts intact. But if that's the case, then what will we?
The accused is the sole person who could have moved the body from the art room to the stage. And I mean to prove it here to this day.
It's just like Detective Fulbright said, but what else does he have up his sleeve?
My understanding of this heinous crime is thus. The murder took place near the center of the art room, as evidenced by the bloodstain.
Again, I don't believe it.
Blood was also found near some pottery next to the window of the maintenance area. Which is to say, the body was carried over to that very window. From there, it was dropped down to the maintenance area below. And though there was a nary a scratch to the body aside from the fatal wound. That too was per the script. A high jump mat was employed to cushion the fall.
No blood on it?
Then a ball cart was used to haul the body over to the stage.
That's not very clever. I mean, it's the same exact body moving scheme as in the script. Anyone could have moved the body that way.
Objection!
Your propensity to spew forced words before you think is not very clever, Razor.
Why, you?
Moreover, the prosecution has a witness, which is most unfortunate for you. Witness, it's time for you to come forth.
Rock girl? No, it's him. Hey. Ahem, well then, will the witness please state his name and occupation? T. O'Connor. I'm a senior at Kemis Legal Academy, and I'm studying to be a lawyer. Yesterday I told that lawyer there I would testify to the truth. So I intend to cooperate fully in today's trial. Happy now, Miss Sykes?
Yeah, because we're going to call your butt a liar real quick.
What's he up to now? The court appreciates your cooperation, Mr. O'Connor. Now your testimony, please. The lecture hall was packed before the mock trial, but the rest of the campus was empty. That's when I saw Juniper dragging a large mat from behind the stage. I was watching her from the vantage point between the stage and the maintenance area. She was heading towards me, so I assumed she was on her way to the maintenance area. But I didn't have time to stand around and see what she did after that. The real truth hurts so much, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? Or maybe you thought I was going to bring up something else entirely against your client. Oh, never a snappy comeback when I need one. He's coming straight at us today, using any means possible.
To protect a student who had to climb up the high when setting up the stage. A mat was brought over to the stage from the storehouse.
Our client is student council president. What's wrong with her taking it upon herself to put a mat away just after they use it?
Objection!
Oh, there is plenty wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a fall from such lofty heights. Ergo, the mat in question was indispensable to moving the body.
Sucks being the last to know everything. I think I get it now. The drag marks we saw behind the stage were made by the mat.
Why is there a drag mark so far back? Like it's back behind the wood.
Stored there, or like
the mat wouldn't fit there. The mat wouldn't fit in that tiny gap.
Mm-hmm.
So drag has to be something different. It can't be the mat.
And then you have to turn it by the new steel fence. If the only mat of the thickness was where the body was assumed to have been dropped, it would be hard to deny a possible link to this case. We're off to a bad start again. You sure you're okay, Athena? It's game on, Hugh. Game on. I'm going to turn your arrogant perfect score grin into a teary-eyed frown of failure.
So how do we break him down here? So packed before the mock trial, the rest of campus is empty.
Fine.
That's when I saw, you remember, dragging a large map behind her. That one's sus. Probably need to figure out where he was watching from.
I would press that. Our client was simply putting the mat away. It had nothing to do with this case.
Objection!
That is where you are wrong. There is but one mat in the entire school that could cushion a 3-story fall. Hence, the mat dragged by the accused was essential to moving the body. Well,
Huh.
Wait, they were talking about the ball cart being used to move the body. Why is the mat being moved from the stage then? Because, like, they were saying the script was like, oh, they used the ball, the mat was used to cushion the fall, but the ball cart was used to move the body. Why would Junie be moving the mat?
If we win this one, I promise to donate another thick mat to the Academy. Now show me how to show you the truth. You have my full cooperation.
Also, hi, Ichi. So, hold on.
I would press that. I need to know his vantage point.
I feel like it might end up being this one. But like,
Theoretically, the photo of the gates being up. Mr. Connor, oh yeah, the gate's in the way. Mr. Connor, you're positive you were standing exactly where you said? Yeah, that's impossible.
Oh, yeah.
The gate's there. I was standing between stage and maintenance area, and she was behind the backdrop. He couldn't see her. He's sticking to his guns. The issue here is where he was standing when he says he saw Junie. But nothing I say will mean anything without evidence. Time to dig a little deeper. Oh, and before you ask, I have my glasses on. Therefore, I'm positive it was Juniper. That is not an issue. Yeah, present the photo of the gate in the way.
Objection!
So, you saw the back of the stage from between the stage and the maintenance area? Well, let's take a look at this photo taken by Miss Scuttlebutt, shall we? This photo shows the student setting up the stage the day before the mock trial. Do you see the big construction screen to the right of the stage in the background here? Why, yes. In fact, there's a bunch of those next to my house until a few days ago, too. It was so noisy behind there, but I couldn't take a peek. Oh, how it piqued my interest. Exactly, Your Honor. You cannot see past such screens. That is their purpose. Now, let's see. How exactly is that screen positioned again? Aha! Since it was to the right of the stage, it should be right here. And from this vantage point, the witness claims to have seen our client behind a stage backdrop. Oh my, but the screen would have been completely in the way. That's right, therefore, the witness couldn't have possibly seen our client from this point. Youch! Order, order. Mr. O'Connor, have you been lying to this court? The screen, you're right. It must have slipped my mind.
that's not something that slips your mind, you idiot.
What? Are you telling me you, Mr. Genius, forgot something as literally big as that? There are two kinds of memory lapses. The normal kind you mouth breathers have, and the genius level lapses in memory that people like me have. Why don't you just admit that it was a normal, everyday brain fart already? Will the witness now please restate what he remembers minus the lapses of memory? Yeah, that's easy. I was on the other side of the screen. In other words, I witnessed Juniper from the stage side of the screen.
Objection!
You are testifying to our client was behind the stage. But need to remind this court that the back of the stage is not visible from the front. To actually see our client behind the stage from the stage side of the screen, the witness himself would also have to be in the same area behind the stage. But in that case, our client would have definitely seen Mr. O'Connor. Yo.
He's not thinking this through. He's just talking up his rear.
He paid for high grades, right?
He's not smart at all. He's rather stupid.
Nice one, Athena. Keep it up.
Objection!
There it is.
Ah, what a good bird you are, Taka. All right, golden boy. This is not your chance. This is not your chance. Telling the truth will be like a weight lifted from your chest.
The truth? What truth?
The fact that the golden boy here was where he initially stated. That is to say, he was between the maintenance area and the stage.
Objection!
But then the screen would have blocked his view out.
Objection!
On the ground, yes. His view would have been blocked indeed.
Wait, is he in debt?
But consider how Smoke always wants to raise highs up. He's saying he was in a crane. Why would Hugh be in a crane at that point?
I did mention he was in the crane, though.
Why would Hugh be in a crane in the morning at that point? That makes no sense.
Wait, is he like part-timing it to pay for his grades?
Maybe. But consider how Smoke always wants to be rise high up.
Athena, look at the photo again. Do you think something on the other side of the screen, something high enough to see the stage? No way, this crane right here? But I don't remember seeing a crane there on the day of the mock trial. Me neither, but it's probably safe to assume it was moved before you found the body. That's far enough, Professor Blackwell. Remember, you promised.
Oh.
He's in debt.
I recall making no such promise. It was you who came blubbering to me about keeping quiet in exchange for information.
Ah.
Oh.
Ah. What's all this about a promise? Is it about whatever Blackwell is using against him? What's it got to do with going into the crane?
Golden Boy did not go up in that crane for fun. He was working part-time as a crane operator within the school grounds.
What? Do you mean to tell me a high school student was operating a crane? The witness, I object to the prosecutor's last statement. He's an idiot! There's no proof I ever operated that crane. He's in the photo, goddammit. Actually, there just might be something that proves you did. What? If this whole part-time job thing is true, I doubt it would be limited to a single day. You were probably working at the same site the previous day, too. Is this what you're thinking of, Athena? Yep. And as the court can see, the photo captured the crane's operator. And if you look carefully, he bears a definite resemblance to Mr. O'Connor. Are you serious? This is ridiculous.
Hugh, are you gonna claim you have a twin brother now, too? Is that what's coming? How very interesting. Let's ascertain whether this is as ridiculous as the witness maintains.
The defense agrees with the prosecution. Let's bring the facts to light. That's all very well and good, but just how do you propose to do that? The person in the photo has really one distinguishing feature. Not 100% sure, but it's at least worth a try. We can clearly identify the person in this photo as a witness by examining...
I think it's his neck.
Yeah.
Because there's something on his neck. And I can't minimize it to zoom in on it. But, like, fingerprints, to a degree, could work. His hobby doesn't matter. But, like, that orange thing on his neck, I think that's likely going to be it. Tactical save, though.
His fingerprints would be on the Switch, though, right? So, I mean, it'd be all over the console. And then that could just say he operated it. The figure in this photo is wearing a very unique object around his neck. Why, yes, you can see it right there. But then, are you saying you mean to... Mr. O'Connor's neck is almost entirely concealed by his tall collar. But that's exactly why I believe this warrants further examination. Take off the shirt. No, not a chance. That would be a blatant violation of my privacy.
Doesn't exist here, sir. You are a disgrace of a man. Now start unbuttoning that collar before I hack it off.
Yeah, what's the big deal? Now let's see your neck.
The only reason you wouldn't want anyone to see your neck is because it's proof of something.
The bird's coming. Guess I have no choice. Can you look at the character profiles for a quick second?
Yeah, I was thinking it's like, did they all have one? But she doesn't. He's the only one that has it.
She has it. That could be like the proof of friendship, right?
Yeah, but it's only on him. The other two don't have it. Have one.
What if they have it somewhere else on their body?
We don't see one on Junie anywhere.
There's none on her? Not on her brace or anything like that?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep going with it. Maybe it's irrelevant. So, where did you buy that neckband, if I might ask? I didn't buy it. It's handmade, and there's only one like it in the world.
Ooh.
Well, it sure looks like the neckband of the photo. Should we have that photo analyzed? Heh. You are one irritating lady. Fine, I admit it. I work as a part-time construction job. It has nothing to do with our school. Operating heavy equipment's no big deal for a guy who can parallel park one-handed. But I never expected one of my jobs would take me to my own school. But when you factor in all of the required tests and apprenticeship period, wouldn't you have to be at least 20 to have a license for operating a crane? Oh, about that.
I'm a genius, Your Honor.
I'm a genius, so you know.
I'm a genius, so duh. Of course I would know everything.
Objection!
Let us dispense with this insane charade, Golden Boy.
No, Prosecutor Blackwell, please don't.
High school seniors are 19 at most, thus they fail to complete the requirements. But that does not apply to you. Does it, Mr. O'Connor?
Why doesn't it apply? He's a senior, so he's around that age, right? No, don't, please.
Actually, Golden Boy, here is 25. He took 7-year break from school. Oh, he's 25? Wait, did his profile actually... Yeah, it says he's 18, but he's actually 25? What?
Oh, Lord. Wait. Go to you know whose age. Go to Juniper's age.
She's 18.
Oh no.
They're all 18.
Okay, at least she's legal, but like but he's a senior in school, so he liked her before she was
So they must have met when he was 21. And he's surrounded by 2 girls.
2 girls, age 18. Wait, what age is Court?
47.
Okay. Okay. Kind of unrelated.
Means
okay.
is 45.
Wait, come again?
Take a gander at the official school enrollment documentation. 'Tis all right there.
Ah! Youch! 25? You mean he's older than me? A 25-year-old high schooler? Heh. A 7-year break. 7 years. I've just one thing to say. There are 2 kinds of 7-year breaks. The ordinary kind you mouth breathers take, and the genius kind of people like me take.
Objection!
But a genius would quickly become a chore for a 7-year break. I think you have that backwards, Athena. Oh, even geniuses make mistakes. I just happened to make mine only 7 years in a row. He didn't get in for 7 years? Only Hugh could get away with using the words only like that.
Enough of this jibber jabber. Suffice to say, the witness was up in the crane when he saw the accused dragging the mat. The accused readied all she needed to move the body immediately prior to doing so. That much is clear. I see no reason to deliberate the matter further.
Considering that the body was moved in the same manner as in the script, I find Prosecutor Blackwell's claim to be quite persuasive. Does the defense care to dissuade me? As long as the mat was used to move the body, Junie's going to be under suspicion.
It wasn't, though, if it's following the script.
Athena, I just thought of something. What was Hugh doing in the crane right before the mock trial? He couldn't have been on the job at the time. I mean, he was waiting for the trial to start. Yeah, why was he in the crane? Wait, you don't think... Your Honor. Yes, Miss Sykes. I've got it. I've got an amazing idea that will turn the prosecution's claim on its head. A little conjecture has never stopped us before.
Interesting.
Mr. O'Connor, you were using the crane too? Move the body.
Maybe that was it? Like, what did he need to move himself for? Why would the screen need to be moved? Maybe everything was made to look like it, but like it never actually was.
The body was just like it was in the script, so it must have been moved like in the script too. At least that's what the prosecution believes. How simplistic, even foolish. Those are pretty strong words, Athena. You sure about this? The witness is a licensed crane operator. He could have used it to move the body.
Objection!
Well, Golden Boy, care to chime in? I intend to say no more on the matter. Save that this doesn't bode well for you.
Wait, he's on my side this time? Or is this another trap? Here, watch this. I can use a bow and arrow one-handed.
So?
Wow, that's a crazy level of dexterity. I can even drive a crane with one hand. That's easy. But operating a crane itself is so complex, it requires both hands. Now, I would have the court look at this. Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain.
Can't see his
We
hands.
don't see his hands.
But if he's saying it was like he got the injuries before the day before the murder, he wouldn't be operating it here because if he needs both hands, he can't be operating it in this picture.
Yeah.
He's already pretty much confirmed that's him.
Oh, please tell me that's a ketchup stain. You wish my hand was injured and required surgery.
Oh yeah, so it definitely happened before. So yeah, he's full of crap.
That's the reason I kept my hand in my pocket all this time.
I've already verified with the hospital of the treatment. Quite a nasty wound, they say.
So, how did you hurt it? I see no need to discuss that.
I
It has no relevance
completely
to this
disagree.
case.
I completely disagree. How were you operating the crane then? You were on the crane yesterday. 2 hands are required to operate a complex machinery such as a crane. Ergo, on the day of the mock trial, the witness was incapable of moving the body by the crane.
Now I'm
No.
the fool.
It's not. Explain the photo from yesterday then.
I planned on moving the crane the night before the mock trial, but then I got injured. Wanted to keep my part-time job a secret, I had to do it just before the mock trial instead. Oh, and here I thought this was the big break we've been waiting for.
Another defense of history is laid bare. I would like to have the court recall my claim.
The body was dropped out of a third-floor window in a mat near the maintenance area. There's no blood on the mat. Then a ball cart was used to move it and the stage. See? I've been paying attention.
Well done, your boldness. Now consider this. The accused was cited dragged that mat. Ergo, she was the one who moved the body. Again, it was supposed to be moved in a ball cart, not the mat. Those mats are also heavy as heck.
Well, I think you're on the right track, Athena. You do? Yeah, Juniper remains the prime suspect if we assume the body was moved per her script. So as a defense, you have to figure out how else the body could have been moved. But... Oh, see, you telling me to think of another way besides the crane? Miss Sykes, have you ever counter-argument? This court would love to hear it. And if...
The wire!
Did I not say how she got down?
The wire! I forgot about the wire being a potential for that.
If the body was shoved out the art room...
It was shoved out there on the wire. Maybe that's why the crashing noise happened. Like something happened to cause the body to fall off the wire too.
Yeah.
And like on the path of the body going down, knocked over both of the statues.
And he's the only one that could have untied her and left her there.
Nope. When we heard
Well,
when we heard that crashing noise, he was in the mock trial.
So are we saying that that Means had the ability to do that?
Means had to be the only one then.
But wouldn't the students have a view of him? Wouldn't he have like lots of witnesses in that courtroom? Like he has a stair set to behind him. Right in that one image, he has a stair set there.
If you do not, it is time for the verdict. Isn't that correct, your boldness?
Objection!
No, not yet. All I have to do is show that the body wasn't moved like it was in the script, right? Well, that would show that the mat had nothing to do with this case.
There is a sword of great renown that cuts down even sophisticated lawyers. Its name is evidence.
You don't scare me. Force a smile, Athena. You can do it. What's wrong with your face, Athena? It's a weird mix of terror and a creepy grin. Just focus on how the body could have been moved, without it being dropped. How could anyone lure without just dropping it? It's not like it could fly. Or maybe it could. After all, there is a way to zip between the art room and the stage. Someone could have easily used that thing. Oh yes, of course. Miss Sykes, the court would like to see what you have for us. All I have to do is show the tiniest shred of a possibility. The mat and ball cart weren't used to move the body. This is what was used.
Do we present the photo because it shows the wire back there?
Could be either.
Or is a banner? Because it has the blood on it.
I feel like it's pointing more towards the line, right? But
The banner was on the
tied up.
line.
Yeah, I would say the school banner. This might be one where multiple pieces of evidence works.
Take that!
The key here is the thing that ties the art room and the stage together.
Might I propose an idea? It might do you well to tie your lips together, lest you further expose your ignorance.
This isn't exactly the time for black comedy, Prosecutor Blackwell. Anyway, the court will recall the wire on which the school banner was hung. That wire was strung between the art room and the stage, which allowed students to run or reel in with the school banner from the art room. The body could have easily been lowered down on the stage via this wire.
Objection!
Spare me your armchair theories. This wasn't the kind of high wire act. The body surely would have fallen. Yet there are no signs of blunt force trauma.
Objection!
Oh, and you surprised me, Prosecutor Blackwell. You didn't actually think I failed to account for that. I'm sure that's exactly what he thought. When we investigated the stage yesterday, the bottom part of the school banner had been tied up into a pouch-like shape. And pouches are useful for carrying things. What do you think this one could have carried? Well, go on, please explain. The body was bundled into the pouch-like section of the banner and sent down the wire. The body would have been down on that stage in a flash, and there'd be no need for a mat. Then you reel it back up. I've heard the phrase carrying the banner, but the banner doing the carrying?
Objection!
I've no patience for you and your cheap parlor tricks. Your claim is shaky as a corpse performing that absurd high wire act.
If you have an actual objection, then just come out and say it.
I trust you will call the bloodstains left in the art room pottery. The wire had been used to move the body. It would have been via the window above the quad, with the one with the winch. However, the bloodstained pottery was by the window over the maintenance area. Ergo, the wire and banner are not at all to do with the case.
Oh, haha. The bloodstained pottery. I remember that. It doesn't look good. We'll be back to the mat theory if you don't do something. Well, Miss X, I hope you have something better this time than a circus act. My wire theory is true, then the blood on the pottery must not have been... blood at all?
It's either not the victim's blood or not blood at all. I think both of them kind of work. Because here's the deal. Like, he was operating the crane yesterday. But, like, we don't have any specific as to when that injury happened. But it sounded like like this had an extensive surgery. So, like, the day before all this stuff, like, he wouldn't have been able to do it. So, like, I think it could very well be his blood. I think it could very well be his own blood. And, like, maybe he cut his hand on pottery or something. Like,
why?
it still doesn't explain like why Black was like, oh yeah, he had an extensive surgery on it, unless the surgery stuff is all fake. I want to go with this one. I don't think it's the victim's blood. I think it's someone else's.
Okay, let's go with it. Maybe it's not the victim's blood. Did the police check to see from whom the blood on the pottery came from?
Shame on you, Sextono. Have you a little more respect for the constability? I'm sorry, Blackwell. I'm about to ruin your day. It wasn't the victim's blood. Fulbright.
Looks like they didn't check it. Don't let it get you down, Prosecutor Blackwell. Everyone makes mistakes.
Spare me your cheek. We know Naughty's away till the tests are run.
True, but in the meantime, I'm going to press my claim as far as I can.
Your boldness. I demand that the blood on the pottery be analyzed this instant.
Of course. It shouldn't take long to get the results back. Oh my, that was quick. Or history if it turns out to be the victim's blood. Please let it be someone else's.
It seems the blood was not from the victim.
What?
Furthermore, a comparison with other parties involved with the case reveals that the blood belongs to one Hugh O'Connor. I knew it!
What's he doing with that? Score.
He's like, well, crap. His hands were bloody.
Your Honor, as we saw earlier, the witness's left hand suffered a serious injury. He sustained a wound in a struggle with the victim, and his blood got on the pottery. Then Junie saw his bloodstained hands as they passed each other in the first floor hall. It's the only explanation that covers everything.
Objection!
There is but one way now to turn aside her blade. But do not cast blame on me. Your grudge is with Sextono, for it is he who forces me to expose your secret.
Fine, whatever. How much dirt does he have on Hugh?
The court will observe this odd-looking envelope. It was inside this Miriam Scuttlebutt script was found.
Miss Scuttlebutt, but didn't the prosecution already claim that? This envelope is the one that contained her script?
Circumstances have changed, you see. Golden Boy had it hidden from us all.
Let's see here. My word, talk about the world's most painful paper cut.
Indeed, you can clearly see that this envelope was not opened correctly. A powerful spring-loaded blade would shoot forth, leaving a horrible gash upon the hand. The only one who had been told the correct way to open it was Constance Court.
He went in and cheated.
He was trying to cheat. Do-do-do-do-do.
Yikes. Miriam wasn't kidding when she said that.
The blood on the blade is the witnesses. Our genius here tried to sneak a peek at the wrong script, and paid for his foolishness.
Ouch. This guy's the worst genius I've ever seen. Don't worry, Athena, the wound wasn't that deep. We still got the wire theory. Yeah, I've got it. Since the blood by the window overlooking the maintenance area isn't the victim's, there's no longer any basis for denying the body was moved using the wire and the banner. Therefore, if the defense once again asserts just that. You call yourself a lawyer. Heh. Don't you see the glaring contradiction in your thinking? Huh? The court would like to remind the witness that his role is not to point out. Heh. And you, how can you adhere to such outdated beliefs? But whatever. It seems you've forgotten that 2 statues on stage were directly below the wire. The body sent sliding down the wire would have crashed into them. Care to explain that away?
They're both broken.
Why, I believe he's right. The statues and the wire are extremely close together. So the body would have collided with the statues.
That was the whole plan.
What if they did collide? Wait, that's it! Speaking of those statues, we still don't know how they were broken. But if we assume that the body crashed into them... that would also explain the loud sound we heard while we were in the waiting room. Oh, now you mention it. You and Mr. Wright went up to the stage after you heard that sound, correct?
And this exonerates O'Connor from being the one that did that, because he was fully in the mock trial. We all know that for sure.
But he said he saw the body before.
Yeah, he also said that. Interesting. How very interesting. But may I ask just one question? When was it that you heard the sound?
It was a little after the mock trial had started.
Yeah, and this also exonerates Junie. Because, like, if Junie was in the mock trial.
All 3 of them. Mr. Wright and I were practically bored to tears in the waiting room when,
Precisely. That sound you heard happened while the body was being moved. That would place it during the mock trial.
Oof, which means the body wouldn't have been there before the mock trial started. He said he saw the body before the mock trial. If so, then my claim that the body was moved during the mock trial doesn't hold water.
If it's him, it's not him.
Stupid contradiction. It's gonna get me and our case killed. The focus was on just 3 suspects before the body was moved before the mock trial. That has been the major premise thus far. Your assertion therefore contradicts the very foundation of this case.
Objection!
Both sides still lack uncontrovertible evidence. So should we not also treat the Golden Boy's testimony with some level of suspicion?
Good point. Back. Prosecutor Blackwell is on our side? I bet he figured out the truth behind this case. Well, great, as long as he's not up to something else. If the statues really were broken when the body hit them, then Hugh's statement about seeing the body before the mock trial is a big fat lie.
He didn't
Okay, Mr.
specify
O'Connor.
when before he saw the body.
Yeah.
He could have seen it
didn't
the night
specify
prior.
where.
And he didn't specify where. But he did say he was like walking by the stage. So he's like, hey, that's where his body ended up. Probably should say it was there.
In fact, he was on the second floor being witnessed with somebody. Let's get to the bottom of this contradiction about when you saw the body. Look at me straight in the eyes and repeat your statement to me. Like I said before, before the mock trial, the body was, you know.
I shall only say this once, Golden Boy. You had best tell the truth and do it now. That is, if your head wishes to enjoy the continued companionship with your body.
Yikes! Yeah.
Now, out with it. Did you truly witness the body?
Or were you just lying about it? Well, which is it?
You what?
I never saw the body. And he's going to jail.
Perjury.
Are you sure about that? Lie to this court again and I'll charge you with perjury. Guess he's safe. There was no body on that stage. I've been lying about that this whole time. I'm sorry.
Why would you lie? What's the point?
He wanted to frame someone. Yes, we've exposed Hugh's big lie for what it is. But why would he lie about this to begin with? Order. The base premise that the body was moved before the mock trial has been overturned. I imagine this has an impact on both the defense and prosecution's case. Gonna call a recess. Well, first I'd like to thank the prosecutor. This brings us one step closer to the truth. Now at least we know the body was moved using the wired school banner.
Indeed. That much I shall concede, Sykes-Donald. The body was moved, as you stated, in the midst of the mock trial. Which also clears Junie.
But she's the only one moving around the room, though, so he's still going to claim it on her. So both sides are satisfied, then?
If the body was moved before the mock trial, we have our three suspects. But if the move took place in the midst of the mock trial, it's an entirely different story.
Right. All three suspects were in the mock trial. That gives them solid alibis.
Objection!
How simplistic. Did you forget about the student in charge of the audio? I knew he was going to bring this up, and let's just look at it. There is no way out of that room other than the door.
Seat. There's two stair sets, though.
But both the faculty seats have stairs out.
And Court wasn't there.
I mean, yeah, Court's room was obviously empty, but like the way out of the audio room is only into the room. There's not a door going out from there.
Is that not a door on the right side of the auto leading to the faculty seat?
It's hard to tell with what the way they had this set up. Amidst the mock trial, she was the sole one who could leave and re-enter the lecture hall.
What's this? Who is this person in charge of the audio? Oh no, how could I forget? It was... Hey, what's the deal here? Why is Junie so large in this shot?
Indeed, the one who could enter the art room amidst the mock tournament of body was none other than the accused, Juniper Woods. She was in charge of the audio, but people would notice if the audio wasn't being fixed.
No! Why, yes, I see. That does make perfect sense. This can't be happening. Instead of exposing Hugh's crime, Junie's in even deeper. No matter how you slice it, we're cooked. And here I thought Prosecutor Blackwell was on our side, at least on this issue. The Twisted Samurai strikes again. Heck, twisted, it's more like dirty rotten.
Your boldness. Is it time to put an end to this farce?
Prosecution has presented a quite convincing case. But the defense has one last chance to voice any remaining objections. Well, Miss Sykes? Apollo, what are we gonna do? I've got nothing left. Nothing. Nada. Niente. I've been trying to think of something, but I'm drawing a big blank too. Poor Junie. Unless we figure out something, she'll be... Objection. Objection. Well, I object to...
Hold it!
Means?
Oh?
Heh. Stop right there.
Hugh?
All ears to me. It's time you heard about the rare genius of Hugh O'Connor. Listen and you will hear the secret behind my perfect crime. Perfect? Crime?
Is he gonna claim to be the killer again?
Yep. Wait, this is some serious deja vu. Didn't we just go through something like this yesterday? Yes, we did. This had better been another one of his enraging traps. The murder, the moving of the body, the cover-up, it all sprung from my brilliant mind. Well, go ahead, arrest me. The real killer is right before you. He's sweating, too. Order, I say! Mr. O'Connor! You already confessed yesterday, then earlier than recanted your confession. As if you mouth breathers could comprehend my genius, the end justifies the means. Now bow down and kneel. Kneel before my great and maddening intellect.
Objection!
Enough! This is the only thing maddening is the ignominy you bear for all to see. For it is impossible for you to have been the perpetrator behind this crime.
Ah,
There is no perfect crime, only a perfect alibi for you worth the mock trial. And it's silly that I must remind you of this, but you were a participant the entire time. There shall be no mercy if you persist in hindering the trial with your silly little act.
Hugh doesn't seem the least bit shaken by Blackwell's threat. Listen, Mr. Prosecutor. Calling that a perfect alibi is beyond contempt. Your Honor, I'd like to take this opportunity to offer further testimony. I will now demonstrate the very moment of the genius that transcended even perfection.
I detect mood matrix. Also, your camera's gone fuzzy.
I don't know how to fix it
There we
other
go.
than
Move around a bit.